scum of the universe beware, I have laser turrets, and I'm not afraid to use them. Winter Rain Games presents Interstellar Defense Troops, which is a single-player tower defense game with a few twists. Like any tower defense game, the object is to build up your base by gathering your resources and protecting yourself from onslaught after onslaught of enemy forces. Eventually you're going to be overrun. The question is, how long will it take for you to get to that point? There are two types of resources in the game. The first is the asteroids, which are scattered throughout the map. You use your worker drones in order to gather them. That gives you the raw materials you need in order to build the turrets that you obviously have to have in order to defend yourself. The second version is a power generator, which gives your turrets the energy they need to actually do their job. Combine the two together and you can build yourself up one heck of a base in a very short amount of time. But that's where it ends. There are other things that you need to do. First, as you kill enemies, you get research points. Those research points help out your building health or speed of regeneration, or their damage, output, or their speed of attacks. You need to be able to do those researches in order to gain the ability to move on. The other thing is, you do have multiple story modes on this one. The first is your missions. Each one becomes harder and harder as you move along, and they do have their various objectives that you need to complete. Definitely a good way to get a feel for the game before you start on something like a survivor mode, which is one of the other versions. That is your classic tower defense style. Build up the base, build up your next base, survive as long as you possibly can. Rush is a much quicker version. You are attacked pretty much immediately from the start, and you have to build as fast as possible in order to survive. Waves is more like a casual player's game, so you can actually have yourself attacked whenever you want to. This allows you to build exactly the way you want, and you can kind of enjoy yourself a little bit more. Now, as you can see, there are various points where you do have to build more bases. That's because eventually the asteroids will run out of their resources. This will force you to move on and build, sometimes before you're not ready. In comparison, all you need is like 5 or 6 power generators, and you're pretty much set for the entire game. So there's a little bit of an off-balance issue on that one. Also, eventually, when you do run out of your resources, you can't rebuild your turrets when you can no longer afford them. So this eventually brings about the inevitable just game over. Now, when playing this game, I would probably say that on the computer, it's a fine game. I could play it for hours and enjoy myself, but I find that it's probably going to be a much better game on a tablet like the iPad or the Android tablets. I think that with the touch screen and everything like that, the game itself would probably be one of the most popular ones available on there. Not saying that it isn't fun to play on the computer, but it's definitely, I just feel more of a tablet-based game. Overall, I would say if you're interested in the tower defense games and you want a simple game that you can enjoy blowing stuff up on when you're feeling really frustrated with life, go right ahead. But keep in mind, the game can get angry at you, and you can very easily get overwhelmed.